What's up, guys? Checking in. I just got to my sister's apartment, dropped her off a coffee. She's a nurse, so she definitely deserves it. I was supposed to have a grief support group tonight. At least that's what I thought in my brain, right? It was actually postponed till next week because of the holidays, so I was actually really looking forward to it because in just like a matter of a week, so much came up for me during the holidays that I've never dealt with before, which is, it's just really hard stuff to deal with. As weird as it sounds, I never really missed my mom until recently. And did I feel her loss for so long? Or, suffer from the loss for so long? Of course. But I never really was like aching for her. You know, when you miss someone, you like ache for them? I never felt that until recently. Which has been a pretty painful experience, honestly. It's missing someone who is in a different realm, like spiritually, and missing someone who's never coming back is a harsh reality to face because I'm still going to have to live my life. And that sounds super negative, and I know I come on here and I'm like preach how great and thankful I am to be alive, and we all are grateful to be alive. It's really funny, actually. The hospital that my sister works at was the hospital that I went to when I fell. They kind of were there to help me back on my feet when I fractured my back. It was my first 3 vertebrae that were fractured. I think I came on here and was talking about so I have another channel. This is where I post my more health related content. It's called Chef Doctor. Maybe I'll add it right there and link it, but that's where I'm posting all of my health and wellness advice and information. The most recent one was about the sauna, but I'm thinking it might just turn into also like, I don't know. I would love to start a podcast. I think I have a lot to share and that I want to share with people who might benefit from the conversation. But yeah, it's a very interesting feeling to miss someone who's never coming back and to miss someone who's so important. Like, it's at this point, like, screw boyfriends. Like, I miss my mom, you know? Like, boyfriends come and go, but my mom, I miss so much. I miss everything special about her. I miss just her unconditional love. There's no love that compares to that. Like, every parent has a role, and I really miss her. I miss her all the time. And I know that's not a healthy thing to feel, but I've never felt it until recently. Now that I'm really, just getting older and growing up, and it's sobering. It's like so painful. I mean, I thought I already experienced a majority of the grief, but what I was looking forward to this group, some of the advice she gave us was that grief, I was explaining to her when I first signed up that I feel like my grief is only getting worse in some ways. And, people say that time heals all wounds. And the truth is, and I think I came on here and I was like, I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. It doesn't really get better. It might get a little more, you get a little used to it and you get kind of numb to it. or you just kind of, like anything, you just get used to it. But you don't really get used to it. You just have to live with that being your reality. Like, I miss her not just for me, I miss her for my sisters. Like, I'll, like, look at my sisters and just wish that they had what we used to have. Like, I just miss that for all of us. I think next week I thought it was this week. I got the dates wrong. We were supposed to bring a picture in that reminds us or of our person and talk about them. And I really loved that she was going to implement that into the program, because what I said to her, I was like, no one talks about her anymore. Like, she's might be dead, but she's not dead to me. Like, I even came on here and was talking about how sometimes I'll, like, talk to her, and because it makes me feel close to her, it makes me feel like I still have that comfort. I don't know if the comfort of a mother is so huge, and losing that is debilitating sometimes. Like, I don't have her to go to when I am struggling with serious stuff. And it's even worse because sometimes I'm insecure. Like, it makes me insecure that people can sniff out my weakness, that I don't have a mom. And I was telling my sister today, I was like, we were laying in bed with each other, which, again, like, sometimes have an issue with getting close to people, but I always practice with my sisters because I know that at the end of the day, it's important to keep those relationships strong, and that just because you might have lost someone doesn't mean you don't have the capability to be, like, a loving person. Even though, like, for so long it takes away that desire, you just want to be, like, you know, taken care of. But at the end of the day, I know she would not want my life to be any worse because of what happened. It is. But for her, I'm going to try to not let that happen, right? But I was telling my sister, I was like, I feel like I'm hiding something all the time, like, from the world. Like, I walk around with this feeling that I'm, like, hiding something. And part of it feels like just, like, I have shame from losing my mom. Like, judgment that people, like, because loss does create pain. Like, there's pain that comes with it. And, you know, sometimes you don't know what to do with that pain. You just might wear an expression, or you might carry it somewhere on your body, you know, energetically, physically, manifesting. And it's actually really interesting. I was listening to another podcast a few days ago, and they were talking about how we choose to let trauma affect us, or, you know, feed into this. And this is a man speaking, so I'm not trying to hate, but the thing is part of these were very interesting concepts, as if, you know, giving that trauma energy, like, don't give these things energy. But I think what most people, maybe he forgot, is that there's a emotional connection, physical connection that children have to their mothers, humans have to their mothers. And I believe that there is an energetic, maybe even physical tie to that human being that they lost. Like, for example, I feel it in my womb space, my sacral chakra, some people call it. I feel that loss there. So it's not, you can be mental about it and try to think your way out of it. And I think that it can get you pretty far. And if it helps you, that's a great tool to have. But for me, I just miss her. I miss her voice. I miss talking to her, her humor. And I guess maybe now I'm just going to talk to my viewers about it. But I was going to share this with my support group and I got the dates wrong. So I'm just going to let it out here. But there's completely effects on the growth of someone, like someone's mental, emotional, physical growth, spiritual growth. Losing someone can have, I believe, have huge effects on someone's growth. And that's why it's like, I meet people who I can tell they simply just something about me is off-putting. And they have no idea, like, my story, what I've been through, and those people don't matter at the end of the day because they don't matter to me and my story. But it's also like part of me wants to be, I don't want to have excuses. I want to be strong enough for my sisters and my family and my mom to carry on. But then that's abandoning my inner child who is deeply wounded about it. To put on this show that I have, and it's not a show. I do show up places and try to show up as my best self to make my family proud. And the truth is sometimes it's just, and people are like, well, you're just not strong, may think you're just not strong enough. I don't know if they've ever lost someone, if someone's capable of saying something like that. And maybe that's myself talking. Like, maybe that's something that I project onto myself. I tell myself that I'm not strong enough. And that just can't be the case. And yeah, I don't know. I just really wanted to share that. Like, I think I've come on here and said it before. Grief might not get better. It changes. And, hopefully there's some type of positive reciprocal outcome to situations like that. So